Welcome to Subramani. This is going to be some kind of nostalgia of telling you how I started, etc., etc. So it might get a little emotional. Well, no, not really. I started writing my blog sometime in 2008. And I wrote it for 10 years. I remember doing a 10-year anniversary, and then so 2008 to 2020, because till 2020 I used to write a post every day, one or two posts, right? Mostly one, but so you take a 12-year period, so 12 into 365, yeah, that many posts you will definitely be able to find on my blog, which is subramani.com. Unfortunately, in 2020, I stopped writing my blog simply because I found the younger generation would prefer listening to a video or watching a video rather than reading. I thought reading as a habit was not very popular, so I almost ignored my blog, and even today I don't write much. But I thought I will read you excerpts from from my blog of 2017 2018, which was marking my 9th anniversary. So I said, oh yeah, I started in November 2008, and I'm honest to say I never thought it would become so popular. My blog reached out to about 100 countries. Can you believe that you could reach out to 100 countries? I never believed that. And you name the country, in South Africa, Germany, Brunei, these are obviously names which I have only seen on the map, and I have not been to any of these places. And to reach all those houses, maybe they are non-resident Indians, maybe they are resident Indians, maybe they are non-locals, or rather locals in those countries, non-Indians. I have no clue who is watching that, because all the feedback normally I get is Indian. All my examples are Indian. So I say companies like Maruti and Tata Motors, right? I don't say companies like Amazon and General Motors, right? I don't say that, right? So yes, largely written to an Indian audience. I have my book. This book is aimed at the 22-year-old. But in my blog, I've done a lot of videos for, blog and my vlog. I've done videos for older people, 40-year-olds, 22-year-olds, 60-year-olds. That is the advantage of blogging and vlogging, that every day you can cater to a different audience. The minute a book is published, it's done, right? You can't do anything. You can't then suddenly, the feedback that I've got on this book is it's too simple, and I've got feedback saying it's too complicated. Both are true, depending on who is reading it, right? I've not explained what is equity, what is debt. It's assumed that you know all those terminology when you come to read a book on retirement. Wrong assumption, maybe there is some 22-year-old who is starting out and who does not have a commerce background and does not know those words. I don't know, but yeah, catering to a bigger variety is easier in writing a blog and in doing videos. So I actually did not intend that this blog is going to get me business, but blogging happened, then writing a book happened, and then writing another book happened. So I wrote book for doctors, which put me in front of, hold your breath, more than 10,000 doctors whom I have addressed, talking about doctors' finances. I have addressed more than 10,000 mutual fund distributors and insurance sales people, talking about retirement, because this book is on retirement. I've spoken a lot about retirement. Of course, I've generally spoken about equities and debt and all that, financial planning. But yes, retirement has been a big mainstay for my talk with financial service people. And this book, which was a wealth prescription for doctors, led me to talk with so many doctors, 10,000 doctors, sponsored by 5 or 6 pharma companies at various points in time. And when you go to one pharma company, you need to understand that one pharma company can have 50 divisions, right? So many, it is actually 50 pharma companies stuck in one name, right? So that's how it is. So it helped me reach out to so many people. Here the book led to the lectures. Here I was already doing lectures, and that led to the book. So Why did I write a book? Somebody approached me and said, why don't you write a book? And I said, oh, I'm not going to write a book. I would rather write articles. So I was writing articles. Then I said, oh, from articles I could go to blog. So I went from articles to blog. 2008, 2009, the book happened. So this book is now 14 years old. Yeah, this is the third reprint or the fourth reprint and the second edition, right? So that is how this book was born. And then I was talking a lot about money. So how to earn it is not something which I talk about. How to pay tax, it's too simple. You just pay the tax as and when it is due. How to do charity, I've spoken very little. Largely I've spoken about how to manage money and how to manage the relationships arising out of money. How should a parent talk to a child about money? How should a child talk to the parent about money? These are all things that I have done. Now, why am I doing this video? Because I think it is also time when you have to realize that your time is up, and you should not be doing too much of work, in the sense that you are not as updated as the market would believe, because there are people who perhaps know less than me about finance, but they're much better at talking about finance, their way to package it. And I'm not saying this from a jealousy point of view. I'm just saying I've seen very many videos by young people who are maybe in their 20s. They make good videos, though of course it is possible that you see 4 or 5 of their videos, don't like 1 or 2 and say, oh, this is bad. I have seen many videos of many younger people, and I don't want to mention anybody by name. Some videos are good, some are downright trash. But you find all of this. So the ability that you should have in picking out good videos in this market of you, in this YouTube, is going to become a bigger and bigger challenge. So holding on to people's mind or people's attention is going to be very difficult. Which brings me to another question of, my favorite film star, one of my favorite film stars has been Dev Anand. And when I look at Dev Anand, I have a big issue that he made some fantastic movies, right? Even if you take his movies like Taxi Driver or Paying Guest, apart from the super classic Guide, and very many other movies, even absolutely lousy movies like Tere Ghar Ke Samne, had given fantastic musical hits. But the thing is, at some stage, nobody really helped them. This brings me to another story of Beethoven, and then I'll come back to the Dev Anand story. Beethoven is stone deaf, like many of you would know. And Beethoven was a big, obviously a very big composer and a very big conductor, but who was now slipping, right? So at that stage, when he was insisting that he should conduct it, his co-conductor, I don't remember her name, which was a woman to the best of my knowledge, and she came and she instructed all the musicians not to listen to his instructions. And so he was waving his hand, he was doing everything, but people were playing something else because they knew he was deaf. So towards the end, when he was still gesticulating, she came, put her arm around him and turned, and then he got 5 ovations, right? 5 standing ovations. He was such a legend of a musician. But somebody had to tell him he was past his prime. Now going back to the Dev Anand story, nobody told Dev Anand that you're past your prime and you should no longer be making movies. So for everybody, somebody has to do that. If you are an employee, it is very easy because your company comes and tells you, hello, you're very good, fantastic, Subra, you worked with us for such a long time. You turn 58 and so it's time for you to pack up. So either 58 or 60 or 65, depending on which geography and which company you're from, somebody tells you that. Whereas for people like us who are in the public domain, but not employees, nobody comes and tells me, oh Subra, you turned 58, you have to retire, you turned 62, you have to retire, or you turned 65, you have to retire. Nobody tells us that. We have to do it ourselves. So in the money management business, or in being visible to you and talking to you about when to buy, when to sell, how to do financial planning, there will be a stage when I will have to hang my boots. Has the time already come? I really don't know, because I had no clue what criteria to use for saying, oh, now I am getting lesser number of subscribers, lesser people are watching, and should I just shut down, or should I just keep doing it till one day when I just can't do it, or I drop dead and you find that there's no video being put up, so which means I'm dead. Because this is not something which I'm just going to give it to my daughter and say, please run it for me. This is too personal, right? It's like a private practice. If I'm a practicing doctor, I cannot give my practice away to my daughter, even though she is a qualified chartered accountant or something like that. I can't do it. So similarly, I don't know, I don't want to be like Beethoven, that somebody has to put their arm around me and say, enough Subra, you've done enough, now it's time to quit. But I hope I'm not like Devanand, going on and making movies which nobody was willing to watch. So hopefully I will be a combination of Beethoven and Devanand. I will withdraw myself, or somebody will tell me it's time to shut shop. So this is my 16th year, 15th year, 2008 to 2023. Sometime in November, it should be exactly. The November is when I started in 2008. But I just thought I will do a nostalgia video like this. Please keep the comments coming, I like it. And when I do videos on my mistakes, it keeps me grounded, showing how many mistakes I have made. In fact, one big fund manager in a common meet turned to me and said, Subra, if people knew the kind of mistakes which we have made, they will stop asking us for tips, right? So I do think that we have made a lot of mistakes. The market allows us to cover our mistakes. The market allows us to recover profits from some other places, so we could hide some of our mistakes. So market is a great place for learning, but also understand that today there are many YouTubers who have never bought equity, who have never built a portfolio, who have never done any of those things, but they can create videos and find millions of subscribers. I have nothing against, I mean, I would of course love to have 1 million subscribers. I'm stuck at 53,000, so no way I'm reaching million in my lifetime. But you have to be careful about whether those people have enough experience to know what happened in the market in the past, and how the market can be vicious when it can stay down for a long period of time. Not too many players, not many video YouTubers, not many investors are ready for such things. Be careful in your investment journey. Thank you.